Part 1. The Monster's Strike. In a land far away from Geatland, a place called the Amazon, there lived a race of women warriors. They lived in peace until a brute force took over their lands. "Tell me again, Diana, what you have heard about this beast," said Hippolyta, queen of the Amazons. "This is what the villagers told me." They were out doing their wash when a cold wind enveloped them. They said the wet clothes froze and turned to ice, cracking their hands. Their breath was suddenly visible, and everyone felt a chill in their spines. Suddenly, one of the women, a young girl named Viola, turned blue as a cornflower. She gasped and then convulsed. Within seconds, she was like an ice sculpture. And when the women came to her, she cracked apart, her blood seeping out at the cracks and seams of her broken skin. She was petrified, still alive for a few seconds, but unable to speak. It was horrible, they said. "It sounds horrible. How do they know it was not just some weird weather front?" asked Hippolyta. "After this happened," Diana said, the women heard a cackle and then saw a ghostly witch woman, all white and blue, grimace at them with a horrible look and then fly through the air away like a leaf being taken by a gust of wind. Since this happened, we have lost many villagers and warriors. I myself had tried to battle the ice witch, but she only appears after she has taken her victim," Diana said. "What shall we do?" "I will tell our Scop to sing a song of this in lands far and wide. Perhaps a great hero warrior will hear of us and come to help us rid our land of the ice witch." Meanwhile, in Geatland, King Beowulf was having a festival honoring his warriors and their bravery as they fought against the Swedes. The Scop was singing songs of soldiers long dead, and then he began a new song, a tale of woe about an ice witch who threatened the Amazons. "Friends," Beowulf said to his people, "do you hear this story? It is a sad tale, but I will turn it happy. I will thaw out this ice witch. She shall be the ice cube in my mead. I will break her like the icicle she is. She shall be thawed by the fire of my hatred. Men, get my mail shirt and sword. We leave at dawn for the Amazons." In 2 days, the Geats and their king Beowulf arrived in the land of the Amazons. They were greeted by a band of Amazonian warriors. King Beowulf, who was used to seeing only men as warriors, was entranced with the Amazon queen. "You are mighty and strong. I am sure you could kill this ice witch on your own, but I would like to kill her for my own glory and the honor of my people." The queen held his eyes. "What makes you think you will be able to defeat this witch?" Beowulf laughed. "You must be very sheltered if you have not heard of my strength and glory. I shall kill your ice witch, and I shall bring you her wand." Beowulf told his men to wait for him. He would face the ice witch alone. He hiked for 3 days, when the air took on a coldness as he had never felt before. His very bones felt as if ice water was running through them. "She is near," he said to himself. Just then, he felt the blood in his legs harden, as if the rivers running through his veins were freezing and ceasing to run. He quickly jumped up and in a fit of frenzy did 100 jumping jacks to move his limbs and slow the freezing. "Face me, you ice wench," he shouted. Ice which appeared from nowhere, and with her wand she made a stirring gesture. As she did so, a tornado of snow swirled around Beowulf. He could feel his body harden into a frozen statue. He feared this could be his end. But all men must die, and if it was his time, he would take this ice witch with him. He strained to move his arms, and with them he took a rock and scraped it against the ground with such force that a spark shot out from the friction. He then grabbed the ice witch by her leg and tore it off. She screeched in pain, but her icy nature kept her blood from flowing. She felt no mortal danger, and she prepared to strike. Right then, Beowulf took the ice-hardened leg that he had removed from her body and struck it against the ground with the force of 1,000 horses. The leg lit at the end like a matchstick, and soon it was a torch. Beowulf used the witch's fire-soaked leg to thaw her body until her blood flowed. Then, as she bled, shrieking in pain and fear, he threw the torch at her, setting her ablaze. The screeches of anguish from the ice witch reached the castle of the Amazon queen. "What was that? Is this the sound of your Geat dying like an animal?" the queen asked. The Geats looked at each other, but none of them dared to believe that Beowulf could be killed. Then in flew Beowulf on the back of a frosty horse made of ice. In his hand he held the burnt leg of the dead witch. "Use this log to light the fire for tonight's celebration," Beowulf said, as he tossed the burnt leg toward the queen. They both laughed with delight. That night the Amazonian women warriors and the Geatish warriors feasted together as comrades. Never before had Beowulf heard such tales from women about their feats of glory. The queen made a speech, and honoring Beowulf of his handling of the ice witch, she gifted him with many rings of gold and 4 large white horses to remember the women of the East. They drank mead and told stories that the Amazons gifted each of the Geatish women with a special bow made of dark yew with marble stone inlays. These bows were so sensitive and perfected that arrows shot from them never missed the mark. The Geats thanked the Amazons and told them that if they ever wanted interesting adventures, they were welcomed in Geatland.